When'd you get here?
I've been here quite some time.
I can tell that you're wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you would like to check us out, welcome to another episode of Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic, where we don't even talk about what we do anymore. So the first half of the show is basically us fucking around, and then the second half of the show, if we remember to tell you who we're brought to, we're who you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, who's finger blasting their buttholes?
Correct. Then we will have a subject, and then we will go off on rants. It's really convoluted. We enjoy doing it though, so much that we're going on 3 years.
My God, I cannot believe how many episodes of this we have done.
Bored of the pandemic. Bored out of our minds. Just one way to avoid our families. It's Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic.
An excuse to sit and drink with each other. It's
Mm-hmm.
Zig and Larry. Ignore it.
Ignore a topic.
You can use us as an excuse to drink too. Be like, honey, I have to listen.
Yeah, it's much like being prescribed weed in some states today. You could be prescribed booze 100 years ago in a lot of
Yeah.
places.
And
This is
probably by
medicinal.
guys that looked like us. We would have
Yeah,
been we would have been like some type of tandem doctor and doctor dentist and humors aligners and
I wonder if oh God, how much would it cost us? We should figure out some way to taste test old medicinal whiskey. How bad
that's
would
just
that have
Evan
been?
Williams, isn't it?
I bet you it's worse. How bad would that have been? Like not only whiskey from Prohibition era, but American whiskey from Prohibition era that was prescribed by medical doctors. They weren't terribly far from just saw it off as a diagnosis.
That's just dentistry still.
Yeah.
What is it? What can you do for me, doc? Well, what I can do is I can file that tooth down. I can stand on your chest with a pair of pliers and yank that other tooth out, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll put something with mercury in it into this other tooth, and then I'll punch you in the dick and call you a pussy. How about
Cover your taint with lead paint and call it a day.
that?
Uh,
Oh no!
what exactly is Novocaine? It's brilliant. It covers up a lot of mistakes.
What'd you say? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Lean
You're
back.
gonna be here. This is normal. You're gonna be sore for quite some time, but after you've paid and left.
Uh huh. Yeah, you're still gonna feel pretty good when you leave, and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. Thanks, doc." And like, okay, that's going to be $500. Don't I have insurance? Yes, sure do, and it's not great. So $500, and then we will send you home with a pat on the head and a sampling of ibuprofen.
Sample size of ibuprofen, an airplane size.
And then a high five and a whoopsie doodles, and by 1 p.m. you're going to be cursing the earth is what you're going to feel the rotation of the earth in your incisors is what you'll be
Mm-hmm.
it just stop and let me fly into space.
And
That's modern dentistry.
you went to school for this? Not terribly long, but yes,
They call me doctor.
just enough. Veterinarians are more of doctors, I feel. Like,
I think so. Yeah, I'm not a fan of dentists. I don't. If there's any dentists listening to our show,
there aren't.
stop.
I think we've said that before. That's fine. I've heard, however, that they are because of their prescription pad, they are the one area of medicine that overprescribes pain meds like to the nines. They're like, yeah, that's they can do whatever they want, and they do way too much of
I have so much tramadol from them.
it.
So much tramadol. I carry it with me in case if I'm on the road and
Case of attack,
if
or
I get shot, I figure, well, I got the tramadol with me. If I need to sell it for gas money,
I recommend crushing it and snorting it.
rub it on your butthole and give a little touch on your gums, and everything's gonna be just fine.
No,
Coming up roses.
here at Singular, we do not advocate rubbing your butthole and then touching your mucous membranes on your face. We don't advocate that.
As your doctors.
As just as good as a doctor as anybody else. We're pretty sure that that's how you get gout.
Yes, that is exactly how you get gout. It's also how you misalign your eighth humor.
Hmm.
and that takes a claw hammer and and
A friend with a grudge.
that's why we bounce. Hey, speaking of that, let me bounce a joke off of you, okay?
Okay.
Um,
Are you looking for punch up or what's the idea here?
I just bounce it if you know if we're I've got two versions of it. One is a little bit so one is doing a crowd work thing where asking the couple guys, wait, do you have a nickname for your penis? Or asking their
Mhm.
wives, do you have a nickname for his penis? I think that's better, asking the wife or the girlfriend.
Okay.
And they say, yeah, I know it's this. So great, yeah, I have a nickname. It was actually, given to me too. I had several ex-girlfriends refer to my penis as the claw hammer, because not for any impressive reasons, just because it takes a very special woman to be willing to stick that thing inside of her.
Okay, I get where you're going. It's a little, it's not clunky, but it could. Uh, it's a very special woman to stick that thing inside of her.
It takes a special person to be willing to stick it inside of them. Here's the other one.
Okay.
The other version of that is, uh, I found out that several of my ex-girlfriends actually years ago kind of got together and had a bit of support group, and even brought the current girl that I was dating into the support group to give her advice on how to date me. And turns out that they did have a nickname for me. It was Clawhammer, only because I'm very useful in very specific situations, and it takes a very special person to be willing to stick it inside of them.
See, I think I like the first version a little bit better.
Yeah,
It's I don't know. It depends on where it's at in the set because like that's
right.
a long road to get to the same joke, and I think that you can like slap it on the head. The the problem is that how do you get it back? Because now all I'm doing is trying to picture like you might have to like talk about like I know what you're thinking. Which way goes in first? The handle? I don't know. I'm not here to judge. Which way? Does can you depends on the lady. Depends on how many grunts you want to do. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah,
because I'm just picturing how to put a claw hammer in a woman, and I'm going to jail for it.
yeah, yeah. I think it's got to be handle first. I don't know unless she
You're
is.
the guy who doesn't like to kink shame. That doesn't gotta be anything, bro.
And you're right. You're right. Just spit on it and say a prayer, and here we go.
I'll tell you what, with it, it's good though. I like it. It's like a very specific person to want to. I think specific, very specific person to want to shove that up inside themselves, something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Just get straight to it. Because yeah, but then I would say get to it and then spend more time discussing insertion of a claw hammer into a human orifice. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
as your legal counsel, that would be the way I would go. But it's not my show.
I Yeah, like I said, I've been thinking about it, and it made me giggle enough. And a lot of times, like in situations like that, where I'm like, "Oh, it's kind of a hack thing. Oh, nickname for your penis." But I was like, "This is clever enough that it might have legs." And then I'll think of something like that, and then I'll forget. And then a day later, I'm like, "Oh fuck, what was that I came up with?" Oh,
That's the worst. Yeah.
but it just kept popping into my head, and I'm like, "All right, we're gonna have to try it at least twice." Which is exactly what a girl who's willing to put a claw hammer inside of them.
I like the fact that try it at least twice, especially if they're on separate occasions, like
Yeah,
the separate days. Like, well, I didn't get it on Wednesday, but I've been eating a lot of bran, and I'm gonna. I feel like if I angle it correctly, I might be able. I'm just gonna have to show you. I'm just gonna
just,
show you.
just get over here.
I'm not good with visualization. Just come here. Just come on.
Get over here and try to mush that thing up in here.
How am I going to get this claw hammer inside of you? Put your shoulder into it.
Lean into it and don't be a pussy.
Don't be a pussy. Grunt, bear down. Pretend like you're the center, like on a football field, not like the center of the universe. I know you pretend like that all the time. Pretend like you're a
Huh?
center. Yeah. Hut, hut, ouch. That's what we're going for.
Just like at the dentist.
Just like at the dentist. On the count of three. One, two.
Do you have to squeeze my penis every time you pull on my tooth?
It's a have to, get to, got to, want to situation.
Do you forget about your tooth pain every time I squeeze your penis? Yes, then it's working.
Do you forget about your social rights every time I squeeze your penis?
Yes, then it's working.
That is working for us too, here at the law offices of Holy Christ.
Speaking of which, happy Easter Monday, everybody.
Mm, that's right. Yesterday was Jesus Christ is a Zombie Day, and I hope that you all celebrated by giving yourself pre-diabetes.
Yes. Sorry, I had to do math.
Did you? You're not a terribly original. You're spiritual. Uh, did you do the Easter thing with the kids growing up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We may do something. It's fun, like, especially now that they're pretty much adults, to get them the dumbest Easter basket stuff. Like,
Oh, they're going to get Easter baskets still.
yeah, sometimes we still do.
Okay.
Like last year though, we just kicked
Condoms and weed.
last year we just kicked doors open and threw things at them while they were sleeping. Here's a
See,
chocolate rabbit. Here's some Peeps. Here's a plush rabbit. Here's a plastic one. Happy
and
Easter.
Here's a concrete frog.
Why? Here's a bacon sandwich.
Why? Because it makes as much sense as the rest of this shit.
Happy Easter. Wake up. It's 4.
What are we doing today? No, that was the sum total of our festivities.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe you'll do something for me today. Is that no? That's not happening? Well, fuck. I'm going to take these Peeps back.
I'm sure we're gonna have the same call, the awkward call, because I forget that it's a thing, like the same way that we treat our like Valentine's Day in this house. I love it. Me and my wife like this is ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing ever. I feel no pressure. Also, sweetest day is for suckers, but we forget that Easter is a thing. Like literally last night having dinner, she goes, "Is it fucking Easter or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." Huh? And that was it.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have all that means is I have to have the awkward call for my mom where she'll just call up, Happy Easter. And I'm like, Mom, that hasn't been a thing in decades. What do you need? It's like, well, what are you guys doing for Easter? What have we ever done? Nothing. It's Sunday. We're gonna day drink and snap. That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably lay some mulch tomorrow, run some lighting, and then a drink while I do it, because that's the kind of work you can drink while doing, because there's no power tools involved.
Anything with a spinning blade, it's like one of the lines that I'll draw.
Yeah.
I'll even drive a bus, but I'm not going to like anything that could take off a digit. No.
Yep, absolutely.
Speaking of which,
had a boy.
I did my chore for the day. Now it's time for this.
Well, I've got to stay. I'm only gonna have a couple beers because I gotta stay sharp. But Glenn and Gideon and I are gonna go see Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Because
nice. Let me know how it is.
I like to preserve my son's virginity.
Are we sure that's a thing still?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
No. Dungeons and Dragons. So it used to be.
No, his virginity, not Dungeons and Dragons. I know.
Oh, his virginity. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's still intact.
You sure?
Well, no, he did fall down on the playground once, so.
I don't know if fucking wood chips counts on accident.
If you saw how far up it went.
Oh, I was way off. Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Glenn was a Boy Scout, so.
What? He got touched? What's the joke?
I don't know.
I don't know. I lost it. I don't know.
It went away and probably should have. It should. it threw on its fedora, said I'm going out for smokes, and it never came back, and that's okay.
That's okay.
No, like used to be when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons in high school, we had to sneak around and find places to like hide to do it, so no one would pick on us and no one would bully us and no one thought we were worshiping the Satan, because Dungeons and Dragons, that's Satan worship. And it was the same people that were like Harry Potter's Satan worship, but it's not. It's just you're so now it's what is it? drag queens are Satan worship or something. I don't know.
Jesus
It's
Christ. I literally, it was blissful. I got to stop speaking to somebody who I'd known since high school because he wouldn't let his children read Harry Potter because magic is Satan worship. And I went, thank you. I'm finally done. I finally have justification to erase you from my phone and literally never speak to you again. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
yeah. But yeah, no, now Dungeons and Dragons is popular. I know people that like they have regular Dungeons and Dragons sex groups. Like they'll get together, they'll play D&D, and then sometimes they all fuck each other.
You know people who do this? Or is
Yes.
this a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
Are they looking for a third? Like,
Well, it's more like it'd be more like a seventh in this, but
oh, sure, yeah. I mean,
whatever, wherever I can put a hand. Do they need a spotter?
where were your people when I could have used you? Jesus Christ.
Right?
That's the problem with growing up in a small town. You just don't have this. You're not exposed to all the possibilities of life.
Right. This is why I keep telling Glenn, come out with us. I will introduce you to interesting people. Do you like
This this bitch will peg you with a cloak.
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons and dungeons?
I love the fact that you put it that sometimes they all fuck each other. So do they all just show up for the gaming night and be like, well, has it gonna happen yet? I don't want to be awkward about maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bridget took her tit out again, so
It's not every time, but sometimes they're just
But
like
how do you know when it's time though? How do you
I-
know when it's orgy time or when it's just game day?
when the dungeon master says roll for initiative.
Oh, god damn it. I set you up for that and I hate myself so much. How do you not take that stupid fucking joke? You obviously have to. Son of a bitch,
Yeah,
must pay. Okay.
Yep, that's you set it up. I had to. I couldn't help it. But yeah, man,
God.
Dungeons and Dragons is like
No, we're still in the orgy people. You can't just blow past the orgy people.
well, you can. It's
No,
difficult.
you shouldn't blow past. I mean, just
No, take a good inhale on the way by.
I have a 6-inch in wisdom. I don't know what that means.
What? Magic missile! Magic missile! Oh, I'm about to Eldritch blast all over your face.
I've never even played Dungeons and Dragons.
I know we tried to get you to play, but
Yeah, I was a whole because you know what, it was the same people that that later in life told me that Harry Potter, magic, all that shit. We couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons. We played the Marvel version because mutant powers are not of the devil.
no, they're a gift from God.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
I
What
did.
the
I played the
fuck?
Marvel superheroes. I dug it because
It was all right.
we made our own heroes, and then ended up just like mostly we were trying.
Having sex with each other.
Yes, yeah, and James was such a gentle lover. Um, soft furry tits. Huh? I went away for a second. Where?
I was just trying to figure out how to fit soft furry tits on a license plate. I'm not sure how you do it. I know there's a 4 in there, but I'm not certain how. But I have to do it.
It's SFT4E TTS, I believe.
Can you do me some research? Have your people see if that's still available in Florida.
I'll see what we can do. We were, you know, it's funny. Nicole was asking the other day how Carla's family was doing since she passed away, and I said, she's great. They're all doing well. They appreciate that we had a nice life insurance policy for her, and then she'd asked if we heard from Rosalie lately since we had to let her go.
I just caught up to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The old characters that we never bring up anymore. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fine.
we had to let Rosalie go because of budget cuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We couldn't afford the elotes that we paid her every week. Imaginarily. Let's say that's a word.
imaginary. That's some real some real Willy Wonka shit right there.
Speaking of Willy Wonka, this show is brought to you by who, Larry?
Spliff Society and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm not sure how that's. I don't do transitions. Larry, what's Spliff Society? I'm just gonna let you do it because you do it so much better than I ever could off the top of your head.
Oh, that's delightful.
It's true.
Spliffsociety.org. is a wonderful organization and a online store that are the fine purveyors.
There it was. That's what I wanted to hear
I
out of your
knew it was.
goddamn
I
mouth.
knew it was. The
Good
fine
job.
purveyors of toasted palm leaf hand rolled by artisan spliffs.
What do you do with those, Larry?
You can put your favorite herb in there and then stick it wherever you want while it's on fire.
Do they also sell herb that you can put in there, Larry?
They do not. No, no.
Good, good. That's right, because you know what? It's a choose your own adventure.
It is. It's a choose your own adventure. If you want to put oregano in there, you can do that. If you want to put
If you want
uh
to sell children oregano to put in there, you can do that.
yes.
Mhm.
If you want, you can what else could you put in there? Was it K4, whatever that shit was that was the you could put some bath salts in there.
You could. I would say nothing petroleum based. That's just
Uh
going to ruin them.
but you could.
I mean, once you buy them, I'm sure nobody really cares. If you
Right.
own it, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
But yeah, I mean they have cones and those cones are I mean, don't get me wrong, the flagship is the palm leaf split. But they've got cones of varying kinds, cocoa and Lotus and Rose and Dorothy and Blanche, and they have all of the cones. And Ma, they got Ma, and but they also
And the
online.
spin-off that is Empty Nest.
Yes, forgot about that. Um, and then go online, get a T-shirt, get a tank top. Speaking of which, I need to get some of their tank tops. Those tank tops are rad.
Let's beg Bradford for some more swag.
Bradford, tank tops, and maybe a new bucket hat. I kind of ruined the last one.
Yeah, my cap is full of funk. I had to get rid of my T-shirt. The last one he sent me, I utilized it. It's not.
Yeah,
I blew it out.
I save mine to wear to work when I'm in the office because it's my little secret fuck you. It's also I also wear socks that say fuck you on them. So
Nice.
yeah.
I wore the Swiss Society shirt to a weekend of beach and blues festival. It was just back and forth to the beach, back, more food, more booze, more music, back to the beach, and I rode that hard. After owning it for a couple of years, that weekend, no,
Yeah, yeah.
no, you can't OxyClean that sin out of there.
No, and that's not the shirt's fault. That's all what lives inside you that eked its way out.
100%. That is nothing to the craftsmanship or the quality of the shirt.
Because the shirts are the high quality shirts that everybody likes.
That's the problem because they're so goddamn soft. It's just like you forget. I'm like, but you can't expose it to that much whiskey sweat.
No,
That I'll say that right now. 2 days full of whiskey sweat and just the abrasion of hooch and sand and high UV
and smoked tube meats.
How do you like your steak? Tubed.
What?
I don't
You
think I
heard
can do
the
that.
man.
I'm not sure if I can do that on the grill, pal, but I know a D&D group that can help you out.
Splitsociety.org.
I sub today.
Use promo code Zig and Larry at checkout, and we get a little scratch, and you get a little tickle, and the Spliff Society gets to tell us somebody actually used the promo code, and then a little bit goes to charity, which is always fantastic. So, spliffsociety.org. Brought by
Very good.
Jim brought by.
You want to talk about some bullshit?
Weren't we already talking about bullshit?
Yeah, can I specify it? Can I more pigeonhole our bullshit?
It seems like it goes against our philosophy here at Zig and Larry Ignore a Topic.
Mm-hmm.
But
How do you feel about
greasy and a little
itchy?
yeah, itchy, definitely itchy.
I would say porous most of the time.
Regretful,
Aggressive, presumptuous. Um, so this actually I'm taking this straight from Wikipedia. So I'm going to pretend like this is all the God's honest truth. I'm gonna also pretend like you're either playing with your nuts or your phone currently. I was completely wrong. You're playing with the fucking goat.
I am. I found molding clay, and I've given it a longer tail.
He's doing art projects in his crotch currently. Oh my Gideon. If I had 100 guesses, I never would have got to what are you doing below camera, putting molding clay on the screaming goat.
And this is your fault. You got me the goat. You've given me the goat, and then you got me the goat, and now I've got your goat.
So I know that you make fun of me, and when I say things that are so definitive, like ghosts aren't real.
Sure.
Yeah. But I also, when presented with new information, I will be the first to say, "Shit, you know what? I was wrong."
Yeah,
That's how
absolutely. I
science. That's how
appreciate
science. Yep, that's how science works. We have new information proving this wrong. So what we thought before is not true anymore. You have to move forward. That's just how discovery happens. I'm pretty sure that that's a thing.
Are
Oh,
you
but
going
what
to talk
about
about
this?
the alien radio waves?
I am not, but I'm going to talk about many common misconceptions through history. It's kind of a grab bag thing.
Did
I
you hear
found
about this?
this. Uh, oh, is that true? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, just this past week, scientists receive so like we've been getting like a blip through space for years, and we're like, it's just, like something like radiation, some type of weird radio wave bouncing off a planet hitting us. Now this one, they were like listening to it, they're like, this is actually intelligent life that we're receiving this from.
No.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, we don't know what it says, but it's saying something.
How is that not a bigger story? How have I not?
Because our network news sources are all in the pockets of like three people, and they control the news cycle all
Well,
over.
that's much better than what I was going to talk about. Well, let's just. How much information do you have?
I have what I just told you. I had done no
Shit.
research. D plus effort. Gave away some D plus effort pins last night because
Nice.
people were like, yes, I am all about that. So anyway,
That's a good name.
it is, and I appreciate that you let me use it for my own merch.
I don't care.
I know.
Because I know that you love me enough. If it actually takes off, I'll get a small piece of the back end at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
So wait, so saying that there's actual alien? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been.
I know you've been open to the idea of alien.
Oh, I know that they
I just
exist.
said that like Donald Trump. You've always been open to the idea of alien.
Is that your Donald Trump?
No, it was
Good.
a half-assed version of it.
Do you have one?
It's not great.
It's better than mine.
What's yours?
I don't have one. See,
Oh.
so it's got to be better.
So anything's better. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are you looking this up? Because I don't even want to talk about mine anymore.
Well, I want to hear what you about yours.
Well, I mean, we can.
I'm looking it up.
I was just going to talk about I was just going to talk about misconceptions that people have had through history, and we now have information that all the stuff that you learned about history in school was wrong because of new information.
I'm all about that. That's the type
Yes,
of stuff I
but
like.
aliens coming here to play with our butts and play D&D with us while we have sex is much more interesting.
Astronomers have detected a repeating radio signal from an exoplanet and the star that it orbits, both
Can you?
located
I'm sorry, real quick. I apologize. Can you state your source though?
CNN.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Um,
Not flatearthers.pud.
yeah, I originally heard it on NPR.
Okay.
On NPR, Illinois. I'm really trying to get that contract. I really want that voiceover contract.
Welcome to Convince Me with Larry Smith.
Welcome to Convince Me with Larry Smith here on the Front Row Network and NPR, Illinois. It's pretty good.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I can't fuck with that. That's better than I got. My voice sucks. My wife recently told me that
and
she almost
listeners like you.
my wife recently told me she almost initially didn't, because we met online and then we talked on the phone and then we met up. She almost did not meet with me because my voice was so fucking terrible.
I like your voice.
My voice sucks shit. I hate it so much. And she's right. She's right to mock me.
I jerk off all the time to your voice.
You're a special case.
That's
Roll
why
for initiative.
I call you Clawham.
We'll get this. We'll do it. We'll do it.
What was I trying to shoehorn the other day?
Get Dr. Oz on speed dial. He seems like he'd be into this shit.
Okay, so to do. The signal suggests that the Earth-sized planet may have a magnetic field and perhaps even an atmosphere. Earth's magnetic field protects the planet's atmosphere, which, like, okay, we know this. Finding atmospheres around planets located outside of our solar system could point to other worlds that potentially have the ability to support life. Scientists noticed strong radio waves coming from the star YZ Ceti and the rocky exoplanet that orbits it, called YZ Ceti B. It's a young rapper. During observations,
that'd be Lil YZ said he'd be.
right.
There's a lot of littles these days.
During observations using the Carl G. Jansky Very Large Array, that's what it's called. I'm not shitting you. That's a quote. The Carl G. Jansky Very Large Array of Telescopes in New Mexico.
I don't care, pal. Just write something down. Call it a thing. That's what we call it. Fine. I'm over it.
How about big ass microscopes? Nope, that's.
We're gonna call it the really, really good churros. I don't give a shit. Write it on the sign.
The researchers believe the radio signal was created by interactions between the planet's magnetic field and the star. A study detailing the findings is published Monday in the journal Natural Astronomy. Okay. We saw the initial burst and it looked beautiful, said lead study author Sebastian Pinata.
We're not helping ourselves here.
A research astrophysicist at the University of Colorado Boulder. In a statement, when we saw it again, it was very indicative that, okay, maybe we really have something here.
This is Dr. Pinata.
I have said that to women so many times.
God damn it, his name is Dr. Pinata.
Okay, so anyway, that's what, they're like, ooh, that could be the thing. Yours is better. Let's talk about it.
That's not true. That's not true. I prefer aliens, but that's all right. Okay, well, we're going to start off with slavery.
Don't you want somebody to fuck? Don't you need somebody to fuck?
Are you an elf, a dwarf, or a gnome? We'll find you somebody to fuck. This episode brought to you by people who roll for fucking. I have a cloak of the clap. Don't put it on me.
I've got a regeneration. Yeah, well, that won't cure herpes.
I just figured out what it is. That's how you know that people are gonna fuck at the end of a game of D&D. It's if the bard shows up in the storyline.
That's right.
If the game master, dungeon master, whatever they're called, if they bring in the bard, it's like Bridget's got her tit out, the panties are on the floor, but she's keeping the ears on. Okay, so we're going to talk about for a couple of minutes, kind of misconceptions, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
I put the cart before the horse here, but are you familiar? You might not be, but you might be with the pyramids in Egypt.
Never heard of them.
Okay, very good.
Is that a singing group?
Big building. It's kind of like a rectangle with diminishing goals at the top.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just call those
Come on.
I got nothing.
There it is. You got you drove to the cul-de-sac and you put it in park.
Yeah. I didn't turn around. I just stopped. The road ended. You can go this way. Nope.
Some people do go both ways. How were the pyramids built, Larry?
Depends on who you ask.
Mm-hmm.
The Egyptians used Jewish slaves.
Wrong. Apparently,
aliens.
Which one? No. Well, that one idiot with the 5 head, the huge hair that's on History Channel for some reason, he'll tell you. No, yeah. Apparently that's actually not true. So the idea that the Israelite slaves built the pyramids was first coined. Now, this is like the current information, so it could be wrong. But Herodotus wrote this, the Greek historian. years after they were actually built. It's like, yeah, probably the Jewish slaves. No. Um, Archaeologists now are saying the evidence shows that laborers were a combination of skilled workers and poor farmers in the off season who were fed with beer and food rations, like paid with. That's it.
Sounds like
I'm
a
sure.
good gig.
Apparently, were there slaves? Probably, maybe. I can't imagine there would be because, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just like didn't actually do it. But most of it was not just throwing human suffering at it.
Huh.
Yeah. So that was actually a municipal program that brought in poor farmers who were not currently growing olives next to the Nile in the desert.
But they were still taking
Question.
advantage of poor people.
Yes, 100%. But they did not. But they weren't Jewish slaves. Apparently,
They were Jewish farmers.
they were Jewish farmers who were like, we grew all of our shit that we could. We got 6 months to kill.
And
What do you got?
And the crocodiles ate all my kids.
So if you got some time, who wants to move some goddamn stones?
And this rain of toads. Not the rain we need right now.
No. Speaking of which, California. I mean, when are they going to stop bitching? We're God, we're drought. Then they get done with 1,000 tons of snow, and all of a sudden it's going to be an issue.
Sure, it was on fire. And like,
Kidding. Those fuckers can't catch a break. They're like, we're not prepared for any of this shit.
This was paradise. God damn it. This is why we all moved here. It's one of the things Kyle Kinane said. Is like, yeah, I just decided, to move to California because I figured if I failed at comedy and I had to be homeless, LA's a pretty decent climate to be homeless in.
Well,
It doesn't. I'm not gonna freeze to death, and so I'll just sleep on the beach, find a beach, just hang out like that.
there's so many different factors, but I was just like, why? Yeah, why don't you migrate? But I mean, it's hard to be a hobo. You were a railroad guy. They told you have to carry this big wrench and beat the hell out of hobos if you came across them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What are they gonna do outside of hitch a ride? What are they gonna do?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like the difference was there were a handful of murder hobos.
You don't want those. Those
Yeah.
are those are the ones that you have to burn off with a match. But yeah,
It's hard to tell the difference.
one that doesn't have a sign that says murder. Hello, my name is
Yeah.
Murder Hobo. They don't.
No.
Oh, well, we should regulate that. So the statues, Greek and Roman statues, that are all like beautifully white.
Yeah.
Do you know that they originally were painted? They didn't come in just fucking white.
Because I do.
Well, you do. You come in this one color, which is I want to say reflective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Translucent.
It's very safe if you're riding a bike at night. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot of upside.
No, because if I'm in the sun too long, it just goes from pale and pasty to bright pink for a week, and then back to pasty.
44-year-old man that glistens. But yeah, no, it makes sense. They had paint. They painted the fucking statues.
Yeah.
It just wore off because it's thousands of years fucking old.
Huh.
Yeah, I had a moment.
It looks better than what I imagine the ancient paint probably looked like.
The one picture that they have here, Wikipedia, is it's a portrait of Augustus of Prima Porta, but it's like whatever the fuck that is. But like the stone where his skin is still white. It's that same color, but like the whole outfit, the tunic, he's got they painted his hair. I was like, all right. So do you think that the statue of David with his tiny little pecker? Do you think that that was actually painted with Italian color pubes?
Yes. Yes, I do. That is a thick bush that he has too.
It is, but it is. I just brought it was brought up on SNL, but it's right. The hair around the bush is very similar to the hair around the head, and
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Mine is.
You're bald.
I've got a beard though.
In business, never be the first one to speak. All right, so here we go.
Real. I do a joke about pubic hair, and I did have a woman yell out one time, "Well, what do yours look like?" And I said, "So it's a real mullet situation down there, ma'am. It's up top, it's all Heartbreak Ridge. Down below, it's just Gandalf the Grey. It's just
The underballs go first. I have very few gray hairs, but the underballs.
oh yeah, no, it's just it's a thick. No, never mind.
He's just yanking a piece of surgical tubing around his mouth and face. Join us on our YouTube channel. I know you won't. That's fine.
Whee!
Larry, what's a vomitorium?
Oh, that's where the Greeks would go after a big meal.
Mhm.
They would binge, and then they would purge, and then they would all puke in the vomitorium. A modern vomitorium is what I call a sold out stadium of people who go to see Jeff Dunham.
Fucking Christ. I got two for you. One, Jeff Dunham is fine, but you want to hear the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life?
Yes.
My ex-wife bought a CD of Jeff Dunham,
Wow, wow.
a comedy album of a ventriloquist. Wow.
So it just sounds like a crazy person.
Basically, yes. Also, you're wrong about the vomitorium.
Oh,
This is also going to be just like, please understand, I was wrong too. This
you
isn't me
can't win,
just,
and there's no point.
yes, please don't think that this is a whole, let's call Larry wrong about Thing Ding.
Oh, no,
That's
no.
not what, no, that's not what we're doing. This is a whole misconceptions because that was true. Vomitorium was not a regular part of Roman dining. The feature of a vomitorium was the entranceway through which crowds entered and exited a stadium, not a special room used for purging food during meals. Vomit to put forth, like it literally, like they saw that and just immediately translated. It's like where you go to puke. No, it's a causeway. Apparently, Romans were like not so opulent. They're like just yakking up all the time. Apparently, that was a thing.
Huh. I
Mhm.
didn't know this. But I'm sure it's like uh, these scientists are just brain facting things 50 years ago. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, vomitorium. Yeah, it's probably where these fucking pansies went to puke up and try to look tough and fuck little boys.
Oh, both those happened in the same area in your mind?
I don't know. I was just that's what the scientists.
Oddly enough, no place in this misconceptions Wikipedia does it say they didn't fuck little boys.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
not even a thing. Let me scroll through again. It seems like something I would have picked up on. No.
Hey, if you guys would like to watch me yawn so big that it looked like I swallow my face.
I am not keeping up with your enthusiasm level. Here, real quick, let me take my dick out.
Oh,
In the Middle Ages, Larry,
yes, that's where we are.
what? No, no, we are middle aged. It's different.
Oh,
It's hard to tell because I look much younger than you, but we are the exact same age.
I wouldn't say much.
No, it's 6 days.
Yeah, but you don't look much younger than me.
Oh, I would say like a lot.
You would, but you
Yeah,
try.
no, I would. I'm also an asshole. So that's the uh I don't care how old I look. No.
Yeah,
Do you care how old you look?
I just don't want to look bad. I want to look. I want when people go, "How old are you?" and I want to go, "I'm, 44." I want them to go, Nice. Okay. I don't need them to be like, wow, you look 28. No, I don't.
No.
I look like a rough 28. This is a rough 28,
You
but
look like a Fallujah 28, sure.
yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, no, I do appreciate, like, after a show the other night, dude asked me, he's like, "How old is your oldest kid?" And I was like, "Well, he's 21, he'll be 22 in May." And he goes, "How old are you, dude?" And I told him, he's like, "Wow." I was like, "The gray doesn't give it away." And he was, "I didn't even notice all the gray." I'm like, "Right. You're one of
Oh, so he
my."
was an idiot.
Well, he's one of my fans. He was drunk when he got
I didn't even notice the gray. Wait, I didn't even realize that you were a man. What the
there.
fuck?
Oh,
I'm
that's
not. I mean, there's a lot of gray. But you wear it well. Uh, you have the male gray thing going on, which is why it's symmetrical. We get symmetrical grays. Women just get the one weird
oh yeah,
patch.
and it does this like weird squiggly doodly thing. Me, I like this. I've earned, that's the other thing. I've earned every gray hair that I have on my face.
In the pit.
Yes.
Yes.
as a as a Ukrainian shovel fighter. Yeah,
They just
that's a
kept.
Matt Bronger thing.
Yeah, it
I
is.
Yeah.
Throwing the shovels at me.
And I hit him again and again and again. So anyway, yeah, I think that's probably my worst job.
I Matt Brocker, Jesus. Um, no, anybody says like, "How old are you?" My answer is, "Fuck off." Like, I don't really feel the need to explain
Right.
how old I am, or
Well, that's the thing.
you look. I don't care. I feel 98, so that's all that matters. You look as
Yeah.
old as you feel, and I feel dead.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you you are mortality inside and out.
Well, oh, buddy.
It's fine. It's fine. I've aged on the inside.
It's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
I snort retinol for the fun of it. Um,
I do. I will say, I'm very, like, since I've quit smoking, I
mhm.
feel like I look like my skin looks healthier.
How far along are you?
5 months.
Nice.
5 months, 8 days.
Nice. Isn't that funny how you know the exact day? On April 12th, so 4 days from now is three
Uh-huh.
years for me.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
I,
But I don't know why you know the exact day. I know the exact day. Why do I know the exact day?
I actually had to, so I looked it up 2 days ago, because I was craving a cigarette.
Yeah.
I was craving one bad. I was on the road. Speaking of which, Boxcars in Clinton, Wisconsin. I know I've said it before. I will say it again. Holy shit, my guy. That they have a room that they call the room, that is their showroom. And that, I told Nick, when I record an album, I'm doing it in that room.
Nice.
The acoustics are perfect, the setup is perfect, the crowd is hot. It's fantastic. They also own like an outdoor music venue that they just call the Lot. I like the utilitarian nature of it, but um yeah, I don't know where it brought me to that, but oh yeah, I wanted a cigarette. I wanted a cigarette real bad. And but I had told myself, look, after the show tonight, you have a cigar. You haven't had a cigar since I haven't had a cigar since November, since I was in Florida
Mm.
with you. And I had one with me, didn't crave it, hung out all night, didn't was like, yeah, I don't, you know what, I'm good on the cigarettes. Last night after my show, a couple people were outside smoking that I knew. I was talking to them, and I was so, like, when I saw them smoking, I was like, oh man. Oh, I remember just standing there and just chatting and enjoying it. But then I walked up and got a big like face full of cigarette smoke.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, oh, this smells bad.
And the worst part about that is you don't want to be the fucking hypocrite. Be like, oh, you guys stink. Like you can't do it.
Well, I did, they were close enough.
Well, I did.
I did. No, they were close enough friends that I could be like, hey, you guys know that I quit. I'm not ever gonna be one of those ex-smokers like Tima and that smoking around me. I said, I just want to point out that I'm really pleased with the fact when I walked up and I got a big snoot full of your cigarette smoke that I immediately didn't want a cigarette. And my my buddy Hannah, she was like, "Awesome. Now that's good shit right there." And I was like, "Yep." And especially for as heavy a smoker as I was and for as long as I was smoking, for me to now be like, "Ugh." I'm pretty pleased with that.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, just the quit smoking, my skin looks better. And that's, you know, instead of looking like an old beat up handbag. What is that? A saddle? What is that? A saddlebag with fur stapled to it? That's his face. That's his face.
It's like a large animatronic nutsack is what it is. It's wrinkly, but you can steam it. You can steam it out.
It's wrinkly and it's regretful.
My skin never looked good. Like, I don't know.
It always looked good. Got good
Oh,
skin.
I don't. I don't have bad skin. How is skin bad? Like, unless it's like visibly flaking.
Fair enough.
I mean, I consider bad skin boils. You know what I mean? Like boils. Like,
Hey,
if your skin is so bad, like people move on the bus. Like, that's what bad skin is. If there's like some manner of dribbling
an
coming out
odor.
of you, an odor, yeah, that's
A
that
lingering, a
could be
lingering
leprosy.
when you leave the room.
Hey Larry, what was in your opinion, the life expectancy in the Middle Ages?
What, 58?
Mm, all right, you're actually closer than I would have gotten if somebody would have just said that. Again, citing my source, Wikipedia.
Sure.
Uh, Adults in the Middle Ages did not die in their 30s or 40s on average, which I would have guessed like 40, 45.
Yeah.
That was this is how they make the distinction though. That was the life expectancy at birth, which was skewed by the high infant and adolescent mortality.
Okay.
So life expectancy among adults was much higher. 21-year-old man in England in the Middle Ages could expect to live around 64, 65. If you made it to 21, you're probably going to make it to about 64. If you get out of the womb and then you just can't run the race, there's a lot of that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
you pop out of the womb and you're suddenly badger bait. Yeah.
There, God, what else is horrible? If your wife is only making fertilizer, we get that. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
if she's given birth to compost.
God
You
damn it.
I feel like you challenged me. You
I just wanted you to do one up me there so that I could still sleep at night, but it's not going to work. It's
now
never going to happen.
yeah, now you're just thinking of a compostable bag being held out. The woman from Chicago that asked you for your dog's shit. She just showed up. Can I have that?
This? Are you going to use that? What? What are we doing here?
Is it? I need it for my D&D group.
We're going to do an Alaska pipeline, and I need that.
I'm sorry. Me too.
Okay, this isn't part of it. Larry, I just saw this on Letterkenny and I had to look it up. What's an Alaskan pipeline? It's a sex thing, and it's filthy.
Is that when it's a daisy chain of people shitting in each other's mouths?
No, at least not to my knowledge, but I'm not sure if that's better or worse than the actual answer.
Okay, what's an Alaskan pipeline?
To freeze a duke and utilize it as a dildo.
Well, thank you. This will be our last episode. I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
thank I think I knew that though. Didn't they explain it on the show?
I don't know. Maybe I just watched
I
like the second to last episode of Letterkenny and it was on there. I was like, oh, I used to know that. These are the memories I like to drink away.
I feel like that we need to do an Urban Dictionary episode.
Sure.
And
You're
then
up next.
All
What a
right.
great idea. Way to give yourself homework.
I'm that.
Teacher.
Yep,
I
I'm
have
that
to,
dickhead kid. You
I
forgot to
have
assign us homework for Easter break. You fuck.
I have too much fun planned. Can you please ruin everything?
Oh, you're right. I forgot.
Can you please force knowledge down my throat that I will never build upon?
Uh-huh.
Keep earning your
Hey,
paycheck.
don't teach me how to do my taxes or how to negotiate for a new vehicle. What I need to know is Pythagorean's theorem.
That means that for every triangle that gets its wings, a
There's
baby
an
rings a
equal and
bell.
opposite triangle trying to uh destroy the earth.
Do not remember. Guess what? It's never come up.
Right.
Never come up in a job interview, and I've had to lie on several. But that specifically, no, it's never a thing. Uh, so middle. If you had to pick two or three, we're still in the Middle Ages, right? Torture devices.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not going to tell you that torture was not a thing because people are really interesting and we've tortured each other a lot
Yeah. Yeah.
in very, very inventive ways. Think Middle Ages,
Okay.
Dark Ages.
Okay.
Pick. Give me three. What do you think? Three torture devices,
Like devices or ways people were tortured. Like
specifically devices, like a machine that
okay.
somebody would put on or in.
The rack.
Okay.
Um there was the Christ, I don't remember what it was called, but it was essentially the wedge that they would sit a person on and add more and more weight to them.
Oh yeah. And
So it
slowly
would,
split them. Yeah.
yeah. And the so we got the rack, we got that. Um there's another one. I mean the stockade where you could just stick red hot pokers up somebody's ass.
And leave them out of the street so that you can just like throw fruit or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because they can't
Pee
lay
on
down,
them.
they can't really stand up. It's pretty miserable.
I was thinking, I was trying to get you to this one. I thought you might have come up with it, but that's okay because there's plenty to choose from. The Iron Maiden.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Did you know that there is no evidence that Iron Maidens were used for torture or even invented in the Middle Ages?
Huh.
That's not a thing. In the 18th century, it was just a bunch of Barnum and Bailey fuckers who pieced together other shit and kind of like cobbled it together and use it in exhibition. But there is no evidence that it was actually like this big, like upright coffin with spikes in it
Uh-huh.
that they would shut on you and slowly bleed you. Like that was not a thing.
Huh.
No, it was
Yeah.
a circus thing.
Well, shit. My entire life is a lie.
Well, we knew that. Let me see here.
Hit me with
Uh,
one more good one.
one more good one. Okay, vamp. Let me get.
Hey, Dante Pal is who I worked with this week, and that dude is a fucking killer, man. He is hilarious, but like a sweet sweetheart off stage. So check him out when you're out and about. He's everywhere that you want to be.
If you were a witch in the Salem witch trials,
Mhm.
you were convicted.
Mhm.
What would happen to you?
Depending, burnt at the stake or thrown in the river.
Mhm.
And if you float, you're a witch, and if you don't, you're not a witch, but you die.
Apparently, also no. A lot of that is just is fanciful, and it's just like it's from people after the fact who are making up stories and like selling books and shit. People accused of witchcraft were not burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials. Of the accused, there were 19 people convicted, only 19
Okay.
that were convicted of witchcraft. Let's see. Most of them were killed by hanging. 5 died in prison. And the most interesting was one man who was pressed to death by stones.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
they were trying to get a confession out of him, and they literally just put him between two slabs, and they
Yeah.
kept putting rocks on him and said, "Confess, confess, confess." And he said, "No, no, no, I'm not a witch." And at some point, but he held his ground.
I mean, he proved his innocence.
He proved that he's a sandwich. He proved that he's a panini who is not who does not have demonic powers.
Rupert the human panini.
Promises he can't do voodoo. He can't do anything anymore. No, all he can do now is ooze.
Look, well, we can slide him underneath his wife's door.
What's his biggest thing? He can slowly dry in the sun. That's the sum total of his powers.
We brought Rupert home. Sorry.
Oh no, you were doing that to me.
No, I was scratching my mustache.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, we
I'm
totally...
full of itchies.
What did you learn?
I learned that history is a fucking lie. I also learned that school is a racket, and don't pay attention, kids, because they'll just tell you lies. And I learned that there's a lot of
We should target more children for the show.
I don't think you and I were allowed to talk to children. Oh
no, but no,
right into my buddy.
No, we can't come into physical contact with children, but we can talk to them over the interwebs.
Oh well, let's not make that joke, because there was a dude here in Springfield, who was in the part of the theater community and grooming kids.
Oh no, really? So, shit.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit.
Fuck him.
I will go on record as saying that Adam Power is a piece of shit.
Name is Power?
Yeah. Adam Power. He's a piece of shit, pedophile, and Bill Bowser was an apologist for him and kept him in and kept like advocating for him. And then there's a handful of other people that have tried to sweep stuff underneath the rug. And fuck them too, but I'm not going to bring up because I don't know that as a fact. So fuck you to those people. And if you got a problem, come take a swing, you pieces of shit.
I'll tell you this right now: Larry hasn't fought anybody in the street in a very long time.
It's been a while.
It would take a lot for me to fight somebody in the street. Pedophiles, that'll
do it. Yeah. Me and Zig and a couple claw hammers. And yes,
they up will inside you the wrong way.
That's what I've learned. What else did I learn? I think that's it. I think that's all I learned. What you learned, buddy?
Let's see. I learned that there's a place in Wisconsin I really kind of want to go now.
Yeah.
So that's one. Oh no, two. There's that and the Cheese Chalet. Those, for some reason, those are two things that I really want to go to.
So right on, as you come off the interstate, Clinton is like 12 miles from Beloit, Wisconsin. You take the exit, you go left into Beloit, and right there is Cheese Fireworks.
Nice.
Right across the street from that is a bigger fireworks place, but I unfortunately did not get a chance to go to Cheese Fireworks. Although next time I'm going to make time.
I feel like you kind of have to stop at Cheese Fireworks, don't you?
You do. You do.
Don't you just have to stop at Cheese Fireworks?
I tried and they were closed every time. I was like, well,
is there apostrophe S? Is it Cheese's Fireworks or just Cheese Fireworks?
It's Cheese Fireworks and something else.
Say bait. Please just say bait.
Maybe. It's right off the interstate.
Cheese Fireworks bait ammo. But there's not even like commas. No, it just says Cheese Fireworks bait ammo.
Cheese Fireworks bait ammo.
And then underneath it, just in italics, it says, "What more do you need, pussy?" I don't know. that goddamn billboard's being belligerent.
Why do you yell at me?
I also learned that aliens are real.
Yeah.
I already knew that though. Yeah. I just didn't think that they came here to fuck with us.
Well, they're right now they're just sending radio signals.
Well, it could be our radio, like they're just like not sending it to us. They're just like sending it out to the ether. You know?
Like what we were doing.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for a while. Just like, hey, anybody there?
Jimmy Carter sent a picture of a naked man up into space, making the man naked woman.
Really?
Uh, they sent, I think, the Voyager probe, but when they sent something up there, there was like literally a drawing of just like a man and a woman. It was like a sketch, but naked and standing and holding hands. And then Jimmy Carter just like put a handwritten note there about like, "Hey, alien buddies, I'm Jimmy Carter. I'm not going to do so great down here as a president, but I'm going to build some houses." I don't think that's what he wrote, but it was thought out. It
The
was a thought out
gist.
message.
That's the gist of it.
He had a bunch of like people write him a thing, and he signed it. I have a feeling
That's
he didn't spend any time. He's a peanut farmer.
yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that though.
I'm good with peanuts.
I like peanuts.
Yeah.
Hey, another real quick thing. Just got a text from our boy Andrew TD.
Hi, TD.
He got a new tattoo. It is a double cheeseburger. And on the patties it just says always hungry.
I hate that I can't advocate for this more.
Right.
Yeah, I love dumb tattoos. Good job. Good job, TD.
I'm just replying that you and I agree that we are in love with
Correct.
this.
Well done.
Yeah. He looks apologetic in the picture that he sent me, but there is no reason for him to be.
Don't be. That's artwork. You paid an artist to do that to you.
Yeah. I love always hungry. That's beautiful. That's what we learned today. Oh, and it's bordered with French fries.
How could it not be?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I could not be happier, nor more
Good.
He says, nice, I have my favorite podcaster's affection.
Excellent.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, guess what?
What's that?
I
love
TD's new tattoo.
Oh.
And I love you.
Son of a bitch. I wanted to try to
Got you again.